Ooh, Huns and Vikings. Now, Vikings is an interesting move because I don't think they knew what the map was going to be. Now, is this Meatballs? Can someone remind me in the chat, is this map Meatballs? This is game 21 between the Viper and Jordan 23. It is a best of 21. I'm pretty sure this map is called Meatballs. There's a map very similar to it called Meatballs anyway. But it is very different. We're not seeing any Huns Arabia, Mayans, and Aztecs Arabia. We are going to see what I believe is Meatballs. Okay? Jordan is here in the blue. He is playing as the Huns. In the red is Viper, who won last game to take it to the final one. Lots of games have been played, and this is the final map, so this would be pretty special. Let's talk a little bit about the map, and then we can address the civs. Plenty of sheep. You can see there's no boars in this starting island. 2 tiles of stone and gold. And then that's about it. There's not even a lot of wood. So you're going to probably need to transport. This is kind of similar to migration in the sense that you need to transport constantly to get to other wood lines. So what you have behind you is very important. Jordan, I think, has the better map here because he has wood and gold behind him that he can go to safer. Meanwhile, Viper does not have that luxury. He'd have to go to the right or go to the left. Now, the Vikings choice confuses me because it was supposed to be the map pack. So if it's the map pack, I don't get why Viper would choose Vikings. They are a very good civilization, of course, but they're favored on water. And here, he doesn't really benefit from the Vikings. Sure, Vikings have strong economy, and that's why they would be chosen on land maps. But he's not, unless he gets a dock up over here, he's not going to be fighting all that much on water. And there's going to be a lot more action on land. Now, there is a piece of land between both of these players. And there's the main gold here. I can see a castle being extremely important here later on. A lot of relics to the left side. Relic here, and relic here. 2 more on the right side, so that's fairly even. But I'm interested to see what build orders the players are going to use. And docking is important, as Viper has scouted a good area to dock. He'll most likely dock those 2 deep fish. And Jordan will shortly do the same. But yeah, I want to know what builds they're going to use. And what strategies they're going to use. How many people watched... Let me make sure I get my players right. I'm pretty sure it was Viper. Viper and Yo, T90 Series 4. The one game you'll remember from that is the Gold Rush game, and all this stuff is on YouTube, by the way, for people who haven't watched all the videos. Way to go. Way to have a life. Yeah, great game, that one, but there was a Meatballs one as well, and I think you guys voted for that, and I think it was Viper and Yo. Might have been Yo and Bach. But in that game, map control was extremely important. And so getting castles, getting TCs, siege workshops, every single piece of military you can, going to be extremely important. Same as any game, but here more so because the players are forced to transport out. So if you can deny that, you pretty much win the game. Is it me or does Jordan have less big fish? Well, he has one here. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Viper. I was going to say, that looks like a similar dock spot. Yes. I don't see any deep fish over here. Maybe down here? He doesn't have any deep fish. So, huge advantage for Viper in the early game. But as Vikings, I guess you're forced into crossbow in the Castle Age. You could go knights, and siege and monks might work. They don't get many monk upgrades, but just a couple monks for knights would be great. But I foresee Jordan going cav archers, and cav archers when massed as Huns are just going to be much better. But anyway, I think I will speed it up now. We'll look at the economy. Are we going to see another dock? I was going to say, if Jordan docked again, that would really hurt for him. And, oh, yeah, he's docking again. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know the build order for this map. He has soon to be 4 fishing ships, and he's luring in all the deer. Viper has lured in most of his deer already as well. Viper... He's not investing into another dock. This would be a great spot for Viper. There's 2 deep fish here already, 2 more over here. So it's like Viper stole Jordan's fish. Oh, and there's plenty back here as well. Holy goodness. Yeah, so that's going to pay off for Viper, and I think he's going to click shortly. Going to be at 27 pop. Already has Loom. Plenty of food underneath the TC. Jordan has not clicked. Plenty of food underneath his TC. And both players at 5 fishing ships and 22 villagers. Jordan just ahead, I think, because Viper got Loom earlier on because he was housed. Now, like I said, I think that this area of the map is going to be so important to Jordan. Viper's going to have to go forward, to the right, or the left. But it just makes it easier for Jordan to suffocate Viper. So while Viper has the extra fish, he does not have the ideal map as this game goes on. Jordan could safely TC back here. Stone, gold, another gold. And then he could easily just wall and then push with a strong economy. Can't wait to see some Viking longboats. We are not going to see longboats in this. Maybe we'll see one just for you, drunk goat. But again, the water control doesn't really come into play. So maybe Viper was hoping that it would be a water map. It kind of is. But in my opinion, Huns is the best civilization here. Yes, they did choose diffs. They did not choose the map. It was one of the map packs. So Viper was probably thinking, well, there's been a lot of water maps in this map pack in recent years. I'm going to go with the water civ and try and win this. Will it pay off, though? We'll see. 26 villager up for Jordan, so he is a little bit behind. However, this is looking pretty good for him. He doesn't have the deep fish, but he does have 2 extra fishing ships. And there's not a huge time difference there either. But Viper has a lot more food. And he's at 416 while Jordan is at 133. So there's a huge difference there. And we are going to see the transport. The fast castle time is important for both players. And it's so difficult to do that on a map like this. It's so foreign to all these guys. Foreign to me, especially. The Viper looks like he's going to have the faster uptime to the castle age, despite going up with less villagers and less fishing ships. So a better build for Viper. And the one difference I noticed is that Viper lured the deer a little bit earlier. But yeah, he's going to be ready to fast castle this. Jordan? Well, again, he's at 400 food now. He does have a sheep underneath his TC, but he is relying on this very slow fishing ship economy. And a couple villagers over here. And keep in mind, Jordan has milled this, Viper has not. So Viper did a lot better with his economy. There's the blacksmith. I assume we'll see a market as well at some point. Or maybe an archery range. He went with a barracks. Ooh. Is he going to transport and build the archery range on the outer edge? That would be nice. Because you don't want to build the archery range here. So sure, he hasn't clicked up to the castle age yet. He's delaying his buildings. But if he can build an archery range and patrol archers around, that'd be nice. He will have the wood for it. I think that's what he's going to do. Jordan, meanwhile, in the feudal age, he's also transporting. Doesn't have the resources yet, and he didn't build anything on his starting island. But maps like this are so difficult to play. You got to try and balance your economy. You have to scout. You have to figure out what build order you want to use. And you're always adjusting it because you're transporting villagers as well. So not only are you focusing on all of this, moving villagers left and right during fights, but you have to transport. And there's a lumber camp for Jordan. He's going to go barracks. This is a mistake, in my opinion, from Jordan. If he's going to build a barracks, why not build it here earlier on? But he will probably go with archery range as well, I imagine. Viper has scouted this. And that is a luxury Jordan does not have. He has not scouted yet. That being said, Viper's going to take him right to this archery range. But 2 archery ranges for Viper, and Viper's on his way to the castle age first. Jordan is going to click up shortly, but he doesn't have the buildings. And it is a stable choice for Jordan as well, so he's not going to hold out for cav archers. He's not going to be able to create skirms. He's going for knights. Oh man, a lot of action in the middle. This is what I'm talking about. It's interesting Jordan went to the middle with his villagers instead of back here. Again, I'm not the king of meta when it comes to this map, but that was a little bit peculiar. And okay, blacksmith at home for Jordan, so he will be able to click up shortly. But significantly later, and without military. Whoa! That's the noise you hear when players are trying to unload villagers out of their transport. As Hijax comes in with the sub, I don't know if I gave Cat Money a shout out or not. I feel like I did, but either way, thank you guys. Jordan's creating a couple of scouts, and this is completely different. He didn't click up. He's creating scouts, and maybe he recognizes Vipers up first. This is make or break time for Jordan 23. Once these units are upgraded, once they're crossbows, scouts will not be enough. But Jordan has actually gone for scale barding, and he's creating scouts. This could be a genius move because Viper's surely not expecting it. Or it could be an awful move, and he could lose the best of 21. Whoa. He's going all in. He's making an archery range. He'll probably add skirmishers, getting bloodlines. He will have 3 scouts and then 1 on 13 HP. He could catch Viper out. Viper's in the castle age now. Does Viper see this? Viper does not see the tower that's about to go up. He sent his military this way as well. Jordan's creating 2 archery ranges, getting fletching, so he will add those skirms shortly. He can kill this army. Jordan's gonna kill that army. Viper does not see this tower. This is a sick, ballsy move from Jordan 23. Committing to the feudal age when everyone is expecting the fast castle. Viper cannot afford to get Bodkin Arrow. These scouts are gonna sandwich these crossbows. Viper's forced to micro this, but guess what, Viper? You have a tower going up on your wood line. This is such a risky move. Because Viper's able to micro down these scouts even with the upgrades, but that tower is so important. If that tower was denied, Viper would have the edge, but I think Jordan is still alive in this one. Sending skirmishers, and he's going to do some damage here. Keep in mind, Viper, he still is trying to unload these villagers. Oh my gosh, we're being attacked! It's a drive-by shooting! The Viper's losing his crossbows. And he's relocating now with the lumber camp. Jordan has a score lead, but keep in mind, Jordan's still in the feudal age. And he's going with another tower, and Jordan's probably going to continue with this. He is collecting stone back at home. Notice he has 66 food. So he will not be in the castle age anytime soon. He has to commit to scouts and skirms. Doubt, thank you so much for the host to all of you joining. This is the final game in the best of 21 between Viper and Jordan 23 that was played in 2014. And Viper's kind of struggling right now. He does have Bodkin Arrow. He does have the castle age upgrade, but there's 2 towers in a crucial spot in the middle. Viper is going to need to keep sending villagers to the right now, and if Jordan is able to spot this, that's probably GG for Viper. But Jordan has committed to the feudal age. So a feudal age all in I've seen from hunts many, many times on Arabia. But on meatballs? That's different. And Jordan's going to dock now as well. Will he go galleys in the middle to try and snipe that transport? Well, that's an idea, but Viper's running around this way. And the archers are being added in from Jordan. And I think Jordan notices Viper doesn't have much defense here. He only has 2 archers, unfortunately. Viper's building a defensive tower. He will be fine. But look at this little sandwich now. Viper's forced to run back again, and he lost, what is that, 2 or 3 crossbows? He does have the range, but he is fighting skirmishers, and Jordan picked up 1 more, and he's able to run away with his skirm. So there's the dock. No way. Why is he making a transport? There are some sick possibilities with this transport, but again, this is full ballsy play from Jordan 23. I mean, he could transport the army, and all these vills would have to run into the TC. He could transport some vills and make towers, which I think would be kind of dumb. I think he's going to go and transport the army. And Viper has seen this tower. He had to run away. He also saw the dock. Send the archers inside the transport, Jordan. This would be one of the sickest meatball games I've ever seen. I don't believe this. I couldn't have guessed this one. So the archers are going to go in. A Viper's trying to transport as fast as possible. Keep in mind, Viper could always delete this TC. Get all the villagers out of there and build a TC over here. But still, this is a really impressive move from Jordan. And meanwhile, forcing Viper back with those skirms. So there are the archers. Viper does not expect this. So he will lose some villagers. Jordan's still YOLO feudal. He can go underneath his TC if Viper doesn't notice. Okay, Viper has noticed. So he's going to have to run back. Oh, there's a forward dock from Viper. This is a big, big deal. Viper can kill all these fishing ships and range some of these villagers. So both players kind of base trading in a sense. But with small numbers. Speaking of small numbers, Viper's losing numbers of crossbows. But Jordan has denied these villagers from getting into the transport. Now there's only 4 archers left, and I didn't see any villagers go down here, but Jordan's doing a heck of a job in this game. But still, I kinda want to give Viper the advantage here. He's in the castle age. Jordan's all over him. I'm just thinking, if Viper's able to get the wood for a new town center, there we go, it's on its way up. He should be fine. Jordan could always take his foot off the gas and click up, but I don't know. The Viper should have the edge as he's in the castle age. But Viper needs a place for his villagers to hide right now, and his transport's coming over. So once he gets rid of all these villagers, I imagine he'd delete this at some point. Archers being wasted by Jordan, probably focusing on the front as Viper has more crossbows. And what's Jordan doing now? Yeah, he's looking for the castle age upgrade for sure. Well, luckily for him, he can range this gold without the galleys bothering him too much. He's making defensive galleys because he needs to protect his fish, even though there's not many shore fish left. Jordan could also market and sell some of his resources to get the gold. But now he sees Viper running forward with more crossbows. This is a very close game. Oh, Viper, clutch repair, clutch repair. Viper wins that fight because of the repair. And that's important for Viper. He's cleaned up, oh, not the whole army, but all but 1 archer. But Jordan 23 has clicked up. He has 10 extra villagers, and Viper losing crossbows to these 2 towers. And Viper has to recognize now, as more crossbows go down, he has to recognize he's not going to be able to push here easily. Jordan's in the feudal age in defending that, so maybe he'll just boom back at home. I'll put a little bit more onto the water here. He's trying to focus on Jordan's transport. Jordan should be able to get away with this, but Jordan is not focusing. Jordan. Ah! Okay, he made it away. Oh. But is Viper going to kill the transport? I guess not. Viper's just going to let it be. Jordan, what are you doing? Maybe he's using this as a meat shield so his tower can kill the crossbows, sending the army around, but transports are not cheap. And replenishing fishing ships also not cheap, as Viper chases down these extra fishing ships from Jordan. Jordan does have a lower number now. Oh man, but Viper continues to throw his army away. He's trying to do damage, but he continues to run underneath this tower. It's incredible. And Jordan is not Vikings, he is Huns, so he should have the castle age advantage with cav archers, knights, anything he wants. Viper's lost everything except that 1 crossbow. That's just poor play from Viper, not something you see often from him. But again, this is a best of 21, and the score is currently tied, so players are probably a bit on edge. I expect high aggression from Jordan. And that being said, he only has 2 archery ranges and 1 stable. He could drop 4 TCs. If he wants, if he has the food, you know? He could drop 4 TCs with those resources. Look at the wood and stone he has. Also, he could save the stone and go YOLO with the castle. There's a horse collar, crossbow, bodkinera, bow saw for Jordan 23. He should have the edge with military. A Viper needs to consider a siege workshop or a castle in this area to protect his new economy. He's sending more villagers 1 by 1 from this TC. Does have farms around this one, which is probably a good idea. I would have deleted this because I can't micro like everyone else can, but... Alright, we're getting shot up again. Yeah, we're fine. A fire ship now for Jordan. Viper can't make fire ships as Vikings. This fire ship should be enough, as all these galleys are weak. Now, where did Jordan's army go? There's a TC for him there. Where does his army go, though? His land army. Hold on. I'm gonna pause, because this is a wreck. I want to make sure... Oh, there it is. Okay. I was gonna say, I want to make sure he's not countering and I'm missing it. Yeah. Viper trying to wall these villagers in because he knows the crossbows and skirmishers are behind. I believe he knows. I thought he maybe scouted out with the transport. But I guess not, because the crossbows are going in and the villagers are joining here as well. Viper's gonna have to run away from this area. 1 villager will go down, maybe more. Now also, this transport could go down if Jordan realizes with the fire ship that the transport's right there. I think this game is playing out to go into Jordan's favor. Fire ships are going after the fish. There's a TC here for Jordan, and there's a TC here for Jordan. He has a lot more map control, and he has a working army, while Viper's just merely trying to defend with a siege workshop. Also, Jordan 23 has the mobile cav archers available to him. There's two things that Viper's Civ hurts him with. He can't build fires, so if he's gonna fight on water, he needs a lot of resources to get War Galley, which is not reasonable on this small river. And also, he can't deal with cav archers. He's just purely going to boom and try and get to the Imperial Age and do something with fast Arbalest, but as you can see, multiple armies for Jordan 23. He's just going to suffocate this wood line, as Viper's forced to send over a Mangonel, and a player of Jordan's quality will probably run away from this. Okay, he'll do it now. There we go, that was better. He lost a lot of the skirmishers. They were just there as a distraction. A messy, messy economy for Viper. Jordan's just running away again. So quite a game here, but I didn't notice Viper had 2 TCs in this corner. And Viper's still up by 7 villagers. Now, Jordan with a decent amount of idols too. This game is close, but again, Viper is not creating any military. We have a second stable on the way for Jordan. He already has some knights, and he does have scale barding from earlier in Bloodlines, of course. And that's going to be the death of these Mangonels if Viper's not careful. You need a monastery in this situation as well, or maybe just a castle to snuff out any attack. Okay, so those knights are made purely to kill Mangonels. Jordan's not adding any more military. But he still has this group back here, and this is perfect. He's gonna debate Viper into sending his Mangonel forward, and he's gonna kill it with the knights. So these crossbows... Oh, he still could receive a shot, though! Okay, wasn't the best in the world, but still these crossbows will idle this entire wood line and force Viper back here. Now, 2 cav archers and 2 scouts are here for Jordan. He's gonna see this, but the cav archers are on very low HP. And now they're dead. But still, you can see how desperate Viper is to defend. Losing another villager here, still can't take this wood line unless he gets a Mangonel over. And actually, this scout from Jordan has killed a weak villager. Will most likely miss out on that one. Wow. And Viper looks to be in trouble now. But he does have the Vill Lead. That being said, idle time is so important in this game, and Viper's had more of it. Forward Siege Workshop for Jordan. He saw the castle, and he's still going with the Siege Workshop. I think what he wants to do is make a Mangonel to kill Viper's Mangonel, and then run in with these units. I think Viper should wall this off here, and wall here as well, because cav archers can run all the way around and still access his economy. Viper's going to War Galley, which again is a very expensive investment. Which dock is he? Getting War Galley in. Okay. He's gonna defend at home on water. Well, if he holds it till imp, he can range some of this wood line and get a lot of map control. But again, it's a pretty big investment for him. As Jordan runs around again, and there's finally the walls from Viper, but he needed a wall here too. Look at all the idols for Viper in his TC. Now we're watching this as a wreck, and it's a little bit slower than live time. So if Jordan isn't microing away from Mangonels, example A, well, actually that's like example E, it's because it was a lot faster then. But I prefer to cover everything that's happening if I can. And I'm still looking at the resources. Both players, a very similar amount of resources. Very similar Vill count as well. The one thing that's different is that Jordan has more military.
Hi T90, happy 3 months. Less than 3.
Thank you for the 3 months, man. We won't talk about that, I promise. The Viper's just purely trying to defend. On land, anyway. And he's going for water control. I like the water control idea. Jordan has deleted this TC. I assume that was intentional. You should probably build a mill there. There you go. So Jordan recognizes Viper's going for War Galley, and he figures, I'm not going to create any more villagers here. That's dangerous. Viper's investing in more docks, and I'm just questioning the decision. What will his War Galleys give him on this map? I said in the beginning, I don't think Vikings is the best civ here because the water control doesn't give you much. if he puts all of his population on both sides of the water, he's not going to have population on land, and that's where Jordan has reigned supreme all game thus far. Samurai, oh, that was a host. I just totally got trolled, but Samurai, even though that didn't show up as an alert, you trolled me, and I said it out loud, so thank you for the one viewer host. And before hundreds of people watching do one viewer host. Oh man, guys, I can't stress it enough. Uptime to the Imperial Age is going to be the most important thing here. An early Treb push, early Arb push, early Ram push could be devastating. I like what Jordan's doing here with his leftover units. He's going to camp that gold and make sure Viper can't get it. Grim, welcome to the T90 Elite. Chat, thank you for the hypes. This game is so close. Look at Jordan's resources. If he idled his TCs on the next batch, he could click up. But Viper as well could click up. The resources are neck and neck. Everything in this game has been neck and neck except military. But another castle for Viper. Remember, he could go Trebs, and he can start getting this map control back. Also, Viper's trying to get some water control. Range some of these villagers. I think that'll be snuffed out by Jordan's fires. Viper is the first to click up to the Imperial Age. He's still being harassed here. But with the Imperial Age upgrade, he should be able to transition. Now, the problem for him is he lost one of his archery ranges. This one's not going to be able to be used. He needs military, and he needs to be creating it now. And normally what you want to do. We still have the production building for Jordan, and he's about to pick up the Imp right behind. Will Jordan create military, and what will he create? The Viper has lost control on water here. That's a lot of fires from Jordan. He didn't keep any of his fishing ships alive, but it's important for map control on land. As you can see, the galleys can range some of his wood line. And this is good for Viper. Really smart thinking. As was this. I don't think we're going to see Berserks. Yeah, we're probably going to see Arbs. And there are the archery ranges for Viper. Again, I think this is a little bit late, but the first thing he'll create is most likely trebuchets. Jordan expects this, and he's going to go Knights. And if he ends up getting Paladin, it's so hard for Vikings to deal with Paladin because they don't get Halb. They do get Pikemen, and they get a little bit of extra HP. But that's it. Viper's going to go for that early Arb push, which could be devastating to Jordan 23. But I don't think Jordan wants to fight yet. He wants to wait for Paladin. He wants to wait for those upgrades. And the Arbs might not be able to get in, because the T90 walls are coming up for Jordan now. And he has all the space on the left side. He has multiple TCs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 TCs there. And he has a lot of resources to get upgrades. So this is a good play from Jordan. Recognizing he has map control. Recognizing he has water control for the moment there at least. And trying to stall Viper's early push. Because Vikings can be devastating early on in Imp. What will Viper do to respond to this? He saw some walling, but not all of it. He has to know now. He lost his docks. If he still had the docks, he could try and transport. But Jordan is making sure that will not happen. And he's not checking this side. Maybe Viper will go for a transport. But still, this stalls Viper so much. He has to transport units 5x5. Okay, so Viper's gonna get this gold. He's gonna push forward. He hit M first. He's getting capped ram. He will go after these walls, guaranteed. Meanwhile, Jordan... he's invested into light cav. He could go Hussar and Skirmishers. He's having food problems. And you need food for Cavalier. You need food for Hussar. Look at this economy. So many on stone. And he has the golden wood. But there we go. There are the farms. I think he will go for Skirmishers. I doubt he'll go for Cav Archers versus Vikings. And Cap Ram for Viper. Arbalest right behind. And he's getting all these crucial upgrades. There are the trebuchets I talked about because Viper has 2 castles. He's going to try and pound down these walls. Okay, Cav Archers for Jordan. So he's going to go Cav Archers. Huh. I mean, Jordan's advantage right now is map control. This entire game, he has held the map control. Over here as well, look at this beautiful piece of walling to wall Viper off this goal. Still has units here, so he knows if Viper tries. But that's a lot of ARBs for Viper. He still doesn't have the military lead, but he does have the tech lead. Bracer on the way for Jordan. And I think he's gonna camp. If he gets full upgrades, like Heavy Cav Archer, Paladin, Siege Ram, he could take a fight. But right now, it's going to be difficult for him to take that fight. And there's the Heavy Cav Archer upgrade. I have to say, I was not expecting that. And he obviously thought twice about it as well, because he created a couple knights. He got Chain Barding, and now he's prioritizing Heavy Cav Archer. And that is not a cheap upgrade. That is 900 food and 500 gold. A Galleon for Viper. Still doesn't have water on this side. But that would be pretty good for him. Imagine if he gets Galleon. He can kill most of these villagers. And idle this gold and idle this woodline. But again, it's about pop space at this point. He's at 175 pop. Can he afford to put those resources towards the water? I think he has to commit to land. Well, Viper's going to try and defend with some trebs. This archer range is going to go down, so Viper's going to take an engagement. Jordan has Heavy Cav Archer. No defense upgrades yet. He's getting the defense upgrades for his Hussars first. So Hussar and Heavy Cav Archer, they can kill Arbalest. The Hussars are the meat shield. The Cav Archer's coming from behind. Are we going to see a transport? A transport? A treb in the transport? Not a transport in the treb. Well, I guess so. Well, look at Viper's resources. He is banking resources, man. Now, that's kind of a problem. He wants to be using those resources. He still is blind, and he doesn't know what Jordan 23 is going to be doing, but Viper has gained the score lead. What a close game for the last game of the series. This is great. He's trying to get to this gold, too, so he will quickly find out he cannot get to that gold, and that's been walled off. Yeah. The Viper's going to try and push fast. He's getting Onager. He definitely expects Paladin, because you can see the pikemen. At the very least, he expects the Hussars. He's taken out Jordan's castle. I don't think Jordan will be too worried about that. I wish Viper would have landed archer ranges here. Viper could be killing these bills, and he could have also landed a siege workshop. But he's pushing right where Jordan is able to defend. And now Jordan is going war galley as well. And Jordan sees villagers. Actually, these villagers are the ones going to build that mining camp. So they're going to die. Viper hasn't realized. Yeah, now he does. Big armies. Hussar upgrades are coming in. Fully upgraded Cav Archers after Parthian tactics. Actually, yeah, he just needs the defense upgrades. So the Hussars will go in front. The Cav Archers behind. And Viper's using the trebs. We're going to see a lot of good micro here. We've seen it all series. But no! Now, he could lose these trebs to the Hussars. Totally worth it for Jordan to commit against the trebs. Trebs are gold units. Hussars are just food. And I think both trebs will go down. Viper was counting on his galleons to be able to kill those units, and there were far too many Hussars. Siege Ram for Jordan 23 before Viper, because Viper went with Onager. However, there's a lot of choke points, so I like the Onager move. Huns cannot get Onager. And man, can you imagine a demo here? Can you imagine a demo or an Onager shot? Where is Jordan going? Jordan! Fire! Oh, that was devastating to Jordan and great for Viper. Look at the HP lost from these Cav Archers. Viper holding to the choke points, using the Onagers. That was a beautiful move, and I don't know what Jordan was doing, to be honest. I think he was going to try and raid the economy. But this is the area to do that. Build some stables or something and raid the eco with Hussars. But man, and of course he didn't lose the units, but he lost a lot of HP, which will lead towards him losing those units. Again, he doesn't see the Onagers. Now he does, paying a little bit more attention. Well, this is interesting now, because with Onagers out, Jordan's not going to want to push. If Jordan loses his army, then that'll give Viper an opportunity, and these Arbalests will shred the Hussars. The siege rams are very important to both civs. They'll pretty much nullify the galleons, because the galleons will be focused on the rams. I think raiding is something players need to think of. Like raiding as in raids, not rating. They're not going to lose rating, but they could lose the game to raids. And again, I think a transport would be necessary for Viper, and I think some stables over here to send in Hussars would be necessary for Jordan 23, but both players focus so much on the middle. We have such high standards for these two players after playing 20 great games. Well, Viper's pushing in. I don't think he has any intention of taking a big fight now, but Jordan is losing some of that precious map control. Now, I'll check relics and actually, I don't need to check relics, because there. Jordan does have 3 relics. Viper has 1. Jordan happened to take the side with more relics. But man, this is going to be quite a long game for the final game, I think. And the Vikings are doing fairly well, but Siege Rams are very good against Arbalest. These Rams need to be focused down. Oh, the micro from Jordan 23. There's still 3 onagers there. And he's microing again, and he's used the Rams versus the onagers. There's still 1 onager left. But he's baited Viper, and he's got it. So now, this is probably a moment. It's a weak Ram, but a moment where Jordan will patrol in and try and kill some of these Arbs. That was a beautiful piece of micro from Jordan. He doesn't have enough CA here. Here are the Hussars I was talking about. So finally the raiding, and those Hussars killed the Ram from Viper. So Viper was trying to push that gold. Not gonna happen. Now, we also have that transport. I am obviously a wizard. Like I said, I've never seen this game before. There's that transport from Viper. So they're gonna start to try and do some damage to the eco. Hussars are a lot better at raiding than random skirmishers and Arbalest, though. Hard to keep track of these guys. So there's 3 different fights going on. And perfect for Jordan 23. Sending in these Hussars will kill villagers on the gold and should kill these onagers, as long as Jordan's paying attention. He brought the Arbalest to the right side with some of his raiding. And more gold units down the drain for Viper. That being said, this onager is still alive. Jordan, what are you doing, man? That was messy for him. Did the audio just change for everyone? Or is that just me? Is that my headset? That was a little bit weird. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Maybe it was just me. But the audio got quieter for a second. Like, the Viper, Jordan, hello? 2 of the best players in the world at the time, hello? What just happened? Jordan had all those Rams there. Okay, he killed 1 onager. Just me? Okay, thank you. Well, this game has swung back and forth in the middle. Jordan was back here defending a moment ago, now Viper's to the right defending. But a lot of Rams wasted for Jordan 23. He needs to think of something else. You never want to be the player to fight in these choke points because you're the one going towards your opponent, and your opponent is just waiting for you to make a mistake. So this is the way to do it, but Viper's raid has been cleared up. I think Viper did some damage, but he's not going to be able to do much else here. And Jordan has thought of the right thing to do. If he docks here and gets some galleons out, then this raiding will be stopped, but he will also have water control on the right side, which Viper has had the majority of this game. Now, he also could go with water control on this side, but Viper has committed there. Force the castle out of Jordan 23. And Viper's trying to push back towards this gold. It's all about getting the most gold spots now, the most map control, because this game is going to go on and on and on. Jordan has the resources for Paladin, if he wants to do that. He's fully popped. But he's going to save those resources. But Viper also has 3k gold, so this is pretty insane. Well, we've seen... This is the 21st game, and you want to talk longevity in one game, which will be this game. Talk about longevity in an entire series, because you need it. And they played it in one weekend, which is pretty impressive. And Jordan's doing the right thing. If he can get this TC up, which is unlikely if the Arbs find the pills, he'll secure this gold as well, and he has some stables here. So Jordan is denying 2 gold spots from Viper, at least for the time being. But Viper's back on this side. Once the galleons arrived from Viper, he was able to create more units out of these buildings, and Jordan's forced to defend here. And also, there was an engagement in the middle as well, and you know what? I don't think there was much of an engagement, because Jordan has tempted Viper to go into both corners, and now he's pushed up the gut. It's all about killing production buildings for Jordan 23. Use these rams against the barracks, go towards the castle, send in the hussars first, and try and pick off the expensive siege. Again, it is totally about pop space and where you put your pop, which is pretty crazy. Everybody has the resources, but how many units are you going to send to either side? This has been cleaned up. Jordan's going to clean this up. Over here, Viper, well, he sent his arbs away from here towards the middle, I imagine. And there's still vills here for Jordan. And now cav archers are coming over for Jordan. He should hold to this corner. And the longer he holds it, the more important it is, as Viper will eventually run out of natural gold if he hasn't already. I'll keep an eye on that. So no units in front to kill these siege rams. Onager's now here for Viper, and he's going to try and do that from beneath this castle. That might mean a trebuchet or two will come forward for Jordan 23 because it has more range. Yeah, Jordan doing a great job. I'm trying to think what Viper should be doing. Well, I love the elite cannon galleon choice, but he's not pushing here, and I don't think he will be able to versus Hussar and Cav Archer. It just doesn't make any sense. I think Siege Ram would be in order, but then again, there are Hussars for Jordan. But either way, if the Hussars are attacking Jordan, or Viper Siege Rams, Viper can use his arbs and kill the Hussars a little bit easier. This is the meat shield that Viper needs as well. Man, what a game. Ark the Runner, welcome back, man. I just saw you say hello to me in the chat. Thank you for subscribing to the stream. Whew, what a game. Well, water control for Viper's doing a lot over here. Jordan still has 20 extra villagers, but I love the elite cannon galleon. We haven't seen a longboat, though, so Drunk Goat, sorry, man. I know you wanted to see it. Alright, and there's the Siege Ram upgrade for Viper. He had the resources. So let's think about gold spots. In fact, I'm going to pause it. This is the final game of the series. This is very important. I don't think Viper has any gold spots. And this is... I'm so torn on what Viper should do in this situation, because Jordan is applying the perfect amount of pressure here, denying this gold. If Viper fully invests to clean this up, he's not going to get this corner. He needs both spots, and Jordan is suffocating Viper slowly, and it's going to be so rough as Vikings, especially with all the pop on the left side to push that back, because 2 gold piles in Jordan's possession on the right, and then 1 in the middle. And though he's not collecting them, Jordan does have more relics. It's 3-2, and a lot more resources banked up. Maybe he got guilds and sold a little bit earlier. A Viper needs to find those corners. If he does not, this may be the series for Jordan. And look what Hussars can do. More onagers going down. I love what Jordan's doing here. He has the perfect amount of control in each corner. He has enough to defend, he has enough to attack and hold, and he has enough to push in the middle. And every time he sends in these rams, of course, he'll probably lose them. But if this keeps up for another hour, Jordan should win this game, because Viper's going to be wasting all of his gold. One thing Viper's done is he's brought his navy over here. Those elite cannon galleons can range some of these units. But Viper does seem to be struggling. Look at this. He lost another onager, I assume, to Hussars or a siege ram. And he could lose his castle. And that castle's been a safe haven for him for quite a while. But still, Jordan's going back. I wonder if T90 did Doubt and Chris best of 21. No, I did not. I did not do that. But that... I didn't know they played a best of 21. Doesn't surprise me, but yeah, I never did that. Now, Viper knows he needs gold. He's thinking ahead. Well, actually, no, he's not thinking ahead, because he's at 36 gold, 40 gold, 41. It's just climbing because of relics. So he's trying to push here. But look how tanky these siege rams are, and this will give Jordan a little bit more time to produce more units. But Jordan wants these gold. He has ships here, he has units here. But where are the rams for Viper? Does he have too much navy? Jordan has a mess of siege rams. He has them everywhere. And he's used them effectively. Even though he didn't kill the castle, and he didn't kill many buildings, it's all for the fights. And again, a huge fight here for him. Just Hussars up against Arbalest. looking bad for Viper. Viper still has the score lead. And maybe because of the KD, but I think Jordan has the advantage in this final game. Viper adding in pikemen in front. He probably needed more pikemen because of those hussars. And he's going for this gold, so he is going to get the gold for the time being. Jordan will most likely see that, right? Yep, he sees that, so we'll see how long that lasts. But as Jordan is being pushed in the right corner, he will push Viper back in the middle now. And also over here, this has been cleaned up as well. So important areas are the gold areas, to the right and the middle. Viper seems to be on the back foot, just with map control. Remember, Viper hit the castle age first. He had more time to get the map control. He had more time to do damage. We often forget what happened in the beginning of the game, and just think about what Jordan did with the all-in feudal for a while. He suffocated Viper, and he has kept Viper suffocated this entire game. Now, will it pay off? Again, this is so hard to push. The building's in front, onagers behind. Jordan needs to be careful. We're losing some of these cav archers to the castle, and the onagers, oh, they're running into the pikemen. But still, that's a nice shot for Jordan. Good start to defending, or, good start to defending for Viper, sorry. I'm mixing up the names now for whatever reason. Over here, I think Viper's going to get this gold back as well. He has to clean up the buildings after he wins this fight, but can Viper hold here? Well, Jordan's killed his gold villagers, and maybe that's why Jordan doesn't have the population in the middle. Jordan's going to lose most of these rams, if not all of them, and Viper might finally get the gold. Now, he could be selling some of his extra food. Both players know what they're doing now. All about map control. I don't see him selling. I think he was above 6k food before. He's creating mainly pikemen and skirms. But Jordan's resources are ridiculous, man. He has that one extra relic and 3,700 gold. I don't know. There is some hope for Viper because he has this corner, and there go the villagers, so he's gonna get plenty of gold. And Jordan's still camping that one. Neither player there. I did not expect the final game to be on meatballs with elite skirmishers, pikemen, and onagers from the Vikings player. Tons going full hussar and cav archers. I would not have guessed that. I would not have guessed these civs. I would not have guessed this map. I would not have guessed the game would be this good. Well, again, we've seen it time and time again. The siege rams are the meat, which is ironic because this map is called Meatballs. Jordan, no, that's messy. What was that? Lack of a patrol or something? He needed his cav archers back here, but still, I think it might be enough. It's all about these onagers for Viper. If he does not hold on to these onagers, he will lose all of this in the middle. He does have the gold now, but does he have the pop he needs here? I'm surprised Jordan doesn't send a Treb in at this point. A Treb could sit here the entire time and fire. Rams are killing some archery ranges. The castle most likely going to go down if all these rams just focused on the darn castle. So frustrating. Maybe it'll stay up for now, unbelievably, but still, Jordan's just buying himself some time so he can get this gold. And he has more cav archers here than ever, and more hussars arriving as well. Again, I'd love to see the Treb for Jordan. He does have a castle, right? Okay, never mind. It says it on the overlay too. He doesn't have the castle. I remember him having 2 of them over there, but probably went down a lot earlier. Will he get the castle down? That's the question. Hussars going in for Jordan. The onagers are exposed, but there's plenty of pikemen, and there's 2 castles firing on these units. Jordan with the ballsy approach, sending the cav archers underneath the castle next to the onagers. I don't know, Viper's keeping his onagers alive for now, but there's one thing you learn from this game. Hussars are tanky. Very tanky units. And so are siege rams. Is there a way back for Viper? He has the gold. I feel like he would need 10 to 12 onagers with a lot of arbalests and pikemen to defend them to be able to push, because Jordan is playing this perfectly. I mean, sure, he's losing his gold units. I don't like how he's throwing these units away, but he has no other choice. He's gonna take the castle down now. It's at, oh, it's being repaired, but it's at 120 HP. Nice split from Jordan. Onager's gone down. So I'm thinking past this point. Let's say Viper defends. He keeps his castle. Oh my gosh, that was the clutchest ram that has ever existed. Do you see that? But can Viper push back? That's the question. I don't know if Viper can push back. He has all this extra gold, but what does he have available to him? He needs more arbs, and he needs to utilize the onagers as well. Micro is on display from both players. And I just think the Hussar Cav Archer combo is working perfectly for Jordan 23. And he needs to get over here. This is important. He still hasn't come over there, but if he does, it's looking tough for Viper. And look at the production from Jordan. Non-stop production of Hussars. He's sacrificing the Hussars in each engagement and keeping the Cav Archers alive behind. Viper can hold, but I don't see him pushing to win the game. He's down a relic. Jordan has more population in the middle. Man, what a game here, guys. What a game. Back and forth. Viper still has score lead even though he's being pushed. The Hussars are running in to kill these onagers. This is an incredible game for a best of 21 final. Jordan seems to have the edge in my opinion. I know the score can be a little bit deceiving because Jordan's sacrificing so many units, but Viper's not pushing at all. No raids for Viper. Let's take a look at those resources. He does have the gold. He's producing non-stop. He's being raided a little bit. Viper needs to snuff this out. Now Jordan's gold also is not as high. He's at 700, and he does not have any of those gold pots. Will this swing back into Viper's favor because Jordan is unable to get to these golds? That would be unbelievable. Jordan has been pushing and pushing and pushing. Viper's just defending, killing as much as he can, but unable to go forward. Will the gold pay off for him? Well, there's still more rams there for Jordan, but he's regrouped. Man. Has Viper bought himself enough time here? And is he distracting Jordan enough with those two ships? Are we going to see a switch to skirms from Jordan? He's creating the Hussars. Will he switch to skirms? If he switches to skirms, then he knows he's in trouble. This is just baffling, though. Okay, he's sending a monk and a Cav Archer here, but it's baffling that he hasn't tried to get back to this gold yet. Maybe he thinks he has it. Maybe he's confident in his ability in the middle, and he doesn't think Viper's going to be able to defend. Okay, there's the mining camp. Finally. Very important that he gets that gold before Viper does. 96, 98, soon to be 100 military for Jordan 23. He's going in again. Viper has the onagers and the pikemen and the skirmishers, same old story. What will the result be this time? Now, Jordan has pushed a little bit, but he sacrificed a lot to do so. He was at 3 and 4k gold earlier. Still onagers for Viper. It's so hard to cast something like this because there's so many units non-stop, but Jordan does have the population edge. Still using his rams, and he's focusing down the onagers as well. Viper could be in trouble once again. Jordan's got the gold. Jordan will probably prioritize that corner that Viper has currently with the other gold. And Viper's losing more production buildings. I don't think we'll lose the castle just yet, though. There's no ram. Oh, well, this ram is here with just one. Gives Viper time to land some shots, but again, he doesn't have the population. 75 military for Jordan, 26 for Viper. This is where Viper had his buildings. This is where Viper had his economy. Also, over here, his economy has been, well, not really good. It's one cav archer, let's be honest. But it's been distracted, and that's the game. Viper is calling it. Jordan wins the last game without even having the score lead. Viper didn't have the production buildings. Viper didn't have the time. Viper also didn't have the composition. That is the end to the best of 21 between these two guys. Again, an amazing best of 21. It was played years ago, and it's been talked about ever since. Really cool games in that set. I'm trying to think back now, but you know, there were 2 or 3 games that weren't the best, of course. I think the game before this, or no, game 19 was pretty poor. But these guys are true legends, and that game from Jordan was so complex. I thought it was going to end if Jordan lost the YOLO in the feudal, or won the YOLO in the feudal. But normally that's what happens. If someone commits all in feudal age like that, then if it doesn't work out, if they don't kill the player, then they normally get killed. But Jordan did such an excellent job at holding map control that he was able to get all the map. And that was very impressive play. Don't underestimate map control, don't underestimate unit composition, micro, all that stuff. A Viper, well, he chose Vikings. He can have no complaints, but I think he tried to, well, he gambled. He was hoping for a full water map. Certainly there was water, but I don't think it was that important. And that gamble maybe hurt him. If he had Huns, would it have been different? I think so. Huns are faster, Huns have more options, and Huns are certainly better than Vikings in that scenario. But either way, very well played, very close game, and what a series. What a series. That whole best of 21 was back and forth. Just goes to show how strong these players were. Now, of course, a Viper is still playing. He took like a 9 to 10 month hiatus, but he's been back for a while now. Jordan just returned, so it would be great if Jordan is able to get up to 2.4k again, because he's, I think, playing against 1900s right now. It would be great to see another best of 21 at some point. That being said, if that were to happen right now, Viper would cream him. It takes a long time and a lot of games to get to that level, and they were the best of the best. Alright, so there's the military. Units killed, units lost, buildings razed, largest army, and that 103 is what Jordan hit in the last attack. So Viper was probably 30 below when the attack started, and then it just got worse and worse and worse for him. And there's the eco. 5k difference with the gold, and it would have been much better for Jordan as the game went on. Feudal, castle, and imperial age time. Look at the castle difference. If you were to look at these stats and not know who won, forget about this little crown here, you would think the Viper would have had the edge. He hit feudal first, he hit castle first, he hit imp first. But no, that was not something I expected on that map. That feudal age attack definitely caught Viper by surprise as well, and probably everybody watching it here on the live stream. I need some water, jeez. I was so hyped for that game. But anyway, that concludes the best of 21. Heck of a game, heck of a series. Thank you all for being here watching this on the live stream. And oh geez, that means it's a big number. Oh, dude.
Skyrockets in flight. Afternoon delight. You guys have it, I think. Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron.